Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to sit down and do this quick intro. As you can hear, it is pouring down rain outside, so the video itself is going to be a voiceover. I really wanted to do a talk through, but yeah. And this was really the only day I could sit down and film this video to get it up in time on Friday. And I really wanted to try this look out. I love the way it turned out. My eyeliner's a little bit uneven, but honestly, you can't tell that much. But I just wanted to tell you guys what really inspired me to do this look. I've had, let me find it, this Cella liquid eyeliner in Blue Indigo in my makeup forever. I got it actually probably 2 years ago in an Ipsy bag, and I just never really played with it, so it still had like a lot of product in it, and it's honestly, you probably shouldn't be putting products this old right by your eye, but I can still see, so it's good. I mean, it sat closed in my makeup for a very long time, so I mean, it wasn't dried out or anything, it worked. I mean, toward the end of my look, it kind of did dry out a little bit, but that's to be expected. But I really wanted to play with this and do a really bright look, and I know the lighting's a little off right now, and that is also the reason why I'm sitting at a different angle, is because I turned everything a little bit to get better lighting. Since it is so dark outside, I wasn't getting any sort of natural lighting today, so it's all artificial. So anyway, I really wanted to do a look with this, and I also wanted to do a look with this palette. When I was in Ulta the other day, this palette called my name, and what really called my name in it was this gray color right here in Kristen. As soon as I saw it, I immediately knew I wanted to do a look with that gray color and this blue eyeliner. Don't know why, just did. And honestly, I think Ulta makeup products is just very underrated in general. I used to have this really big holiday Ulta kit that I got probably like 5 or 6 years ago that had a bunch of like mini versions of their eyeshadows in it, and their eyeshadows then were super pigmented, super buttery, really easy to blend out, and now I think they've done something with their formula and it's even better. So honestly, I think Ulta's eyeshadows are amazing. This palette did cost $20, but honestly, I would go and pay that again in a heartbeat. I think all their eye palettes are $20, and you can buy their individual eyeshadows, but I think their individual eyeshadows are $8 a piece, and they do have them like where you can pop them out and create your own Z palette, and they do sell their own Z palettes now, so I thought that was super cool. Ulta was also having a buy two get two free, so I got this. What else did I get? Oh, I got a set of the Ulta brand sponges, which I did use in this video, which I really loved. And I also got a new foundation to try out. I got this Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. And guys, I freaking love this stuff. I'm speechless because it's just that amazing. I really, really like this. And then I also picked up from Ulta this blue eyeliner, and this one is in Tropics. I have this in my waterline, but it's honestly really hard to tell. It swatches kind of pigmented, and it does have glitter in it, which I didn't know it did. But once you start putting it on your waterline, it's really hard to get the color on there, and a lot of glitter does come off. But I mean, it doesn't look bad. You can kind of see it. I did kind of smoke out under my waterline with some gray shadow, so it did kind of take away, and I added some more, and you can kind of see it. But I knew I just wanted a blue liner to put in my waterline with this look. I don't know, I had this look all planned out in my head, and I honestly love the way it turned out. It is just really pretty, really fun, really out of my comfort zone, so I was really excited when I was in Ulta buying this stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm super excited, and I kind of really didn't know what lipstick to pair with this, so I paired the, Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit and Rebel Rose with it. You can honestly do whatever color you want. This is the one I paired with it. I don't think it goes amazing with it, but all of my lipsticks are in the same color range. So these really mauvey rose colors, and I've been wanting to get my hands on this color specifically for a long time. I just really quickly wanted to come on here and tell you guys what inspired me to do this look and what products that I was using, and yeah, so if you want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm starting off with my eyes already primed with my Essence I Heart Stage Primer and with tape just to give me a more defined edge and to help me with my winged liner. I'm starting off by setting my primer in place with the color Jacqueline from the Matte Neutrals palette that I picked up specifically for this look. And then next I'm going to take the 3 brown shades on the top in Jamie, Ashley, and Tiffany. I'm going to start out with Jamie and put that in my crease to start building the transition, and then go to Ashley, and then go to Tiffany, just going from lightest to darkest to help give a nice transition, because going in with a gray shadow is just like going in with a black shadow. You want to have a good transition to help blend everything out in the end. And now, of course, I'm taking that gray shadow in Kristen and just putting that in my crease. And I'm using the NYX blending brushes here. I have 2 different ones, one for the brown eyeshadows and one for this gray one. I'm putting the gray in, and then I'm going to go back with a mix of all 3 brown shadows and blend it out so it all blends together a little bit more seamlessly. And I know it looks a little bit messy and unblended here, but I promise the more we put in and blend out, it'll look a lot better. Now I'm just going back into that color Jacqueline and putting it under my brow bone to kind of define it a little bit more. And then I'm also going to put this on my lid because blending all those shadows in the crease really takes away from the color on your lid. Now I'm taking the other star of the show, which is the Cello Liquid Liner in Blue Indigo, and I know my wings are a little uneven here, but it's okay. Now I'm taking the Ulta eyeliner in Tropics, and as you can see by my face here in a second, I don't like the way this looked, mostly because the pigmentation was horrible. You really had to work at it to get it to show up, and it was glittery, which I didn't know when I bought it. Next, I'm just going to take the pink sponge in one of the mini ones to blend out my foundation and concealer. And the foundation that I'm using here is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Foundation. I know this looks really dark on me, but honestly it matches my skin pretty good. And this is a thicker foundation, and it says it is supposed to be fuller coverage, so I didn't go in with a green concealer because I wanted to see how well it would cover my redness. And honestly, it covered it pretty well, except for on my chin area. I did have to go in with a couple more dots because I'm having a lot of breakouts and everything on my chin. So I had to give it a little extra coverage on my chin. I don't think this is a full coverage foundation, but I do think it can be built up to a fuller coverage. And this Ulta brand sponge is amazing. It's soft and it's really squishy. It's very bouncy on the skin. It blends the foundation out very well. I was really surprised at this. I don't know how much this sponge costs individually, but I know that whole pack I bought, I believe, was $14.50. So if all the sponges in that pack are the same quality as this one, it's going to be well worth it. For concealer, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, my favorite concealer right now. I probably actually used a little too much of it here because you don't need a lot of this stuff. And I'm taking the little mini Ulta sponge, and this blended it out very well, but it was really too tiny to hold on to, so I just ended up switching to the bigger pink sponge, and it blended it out just as good. Now I'm going to take my Rimmel Match Perfection powder and bake the concealer under my eyes. And these sponges pick the powder up really well. They place the powder down. There's not too much falling off the sponge or off the face. It picked it up really well. And then I'm going to take the rest of the powder and pat it on my chin to really set that foundation down there. And then to set my whole entire face, I'm going to lightly powder with the Maybelline Shine Free Loose powder. Obviously, I got way too much at first, but this is a thicker foundation, so I didn't want to over powder it so it wouldn't look cakey or anything like that. So just a little bit of powder was perfect for me. Now I'm taking my favorite bronzer at the moment, which is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I didn't want to contour, I just wanted to give my skin a nice bronzy glow, and this does perfect. This is the perfect thing for this job, and I love using this little travel size Flower Beauty powder brush for this. It just fits the contours of my cheeks really well, and it goes around my face really well, so I really love this brush. Next, I'm going to be taking the blush from my Rimmel Sculpting Trio and just lightly tapping that on my cheeks just to give me a little bit of color in my face. And for highlight, I'm going to be taking this Ulta Strobing palette, and this has 1 cream highlight and 4 powder ones. And I was kind of scared to put the cream down on top of the powder since I'd already set my face, but honestly, it went on top of my face powder really well, and it blended out really well. It didn't look patchy, it looked really good. It's really pigmented, as you can tell. I just patted it into my finger. I found that to be the best way to do it. And then I just took a powder highlight shade from the palette and just tapped it on top of the cream to really intensify it, and it was gorgeous. And I tried blending it out a little bit with just a small blending brush, and it just would not touch it, so I ended up having just to go in really heavy with my stippling brush to get it blended out because I went a little too heavy-handed, like always with my highlights. And of course that goes on my nose and my Cupid's bow. And then I'm just going to brush away the powder from under my eyes so I can finish up my eyes. And I'm just going back into that palette and taking the gray shade Kristen and running that under my lash line to smoke out my eyes a little bit. And then I'm going to take the first light brown shade we used, I believe it was called Jamie, and run that under there with the gray just to kind of blend it out so it's not just a harsh gray line under my eyes. Now I'm going back in with that blue Ulta eyeliner in Tropics just to intensify the color of my waterline because I lost a lot of it when I was smoking out my lower lash line. And then for mascara, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex on my top lashes and the L'Oreal Telescopic on the bottom. And for my lashes, I'm using the Ardell Demi Wispies, and then I'm just going to pop some of that highlighter in the inner corners of my eyes just to brighten it up a little bit. I'm just jamming out to Raylan's Love Triangle right here while I'm touching up that blue liner to kind of cover up the false lash band. And then for my lips, I'm going to be taking the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in Rebel Rose. You can honestly pair whatever color you want. I just really been trying to get my hands on the specific color for the longest time, so I was really excited to use it. And now all I have left to do is set my eyebrows in place, and I'm going to be using the Maybelline Brow Drama Brow Mascara to do so, and then setting my whole entire face with the NYX Dewy Setting Spray. And that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so you'll know anytime I post a video. Also follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter to be notified anytime I post a video as well. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!